You can have a strong brand, loyal customers, and a calendar full of sales, and still be standing on thin ice. That's the reality of poor cash flow, the invisible threat that quietly drains even the most promising businesses. Most entrepreneurs don't see it coming. They're too focused on growth, on hitting the next milestone, on that next big deal that's just around the corner. But while they chase progress, their cash, the lifeblood of the business, begins to slip through small cracks. And by the time the signs show up, it's often too late. I call it the silent killer. Because poor cash flow doesn't announce itself with alarms. It creeps in softly, disguised as progress. You can't always see it, but you can feel it. The stress before payday, the tight chest when bills pile up, the silent fear that the money might not stretch far enough this month. That's the quiet truth behind countless businesses that looked successful until the cash stopped moving. The cash flow illusion. Here's the illusion most business owners live under. They think sales equals stability, but sales are not cash. Revenue is not liquidity. Profit is not peace of mind. You can be profitable and still go broke. Because profit is an accounting number, a story written on paper. Cash flow, on the other hand, is reality. It's the pulse you feel in your account balance. When that pulse weakens, everything else starts to tremble. The hidden traps. Poor cash flow doesn't always mean low income. Sometimes it's caused by habits that look harmless on the surface, like letting clients pay whenever they can, like buying too much inventory, just in case, like adding new subscriptions or software without reviewing what's already there. Each one feels small, but together they quietly bleed your business dry. It's like running with a slow leak in your tire. You keep moving, but you're losing pressure every mile. Eventually, it catches up. The emotional weight. Every entrepreneur knows that feeling. When numbers keep you awake. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the same questions. Where did the money go? Can I make payroll this month? Should I dip into savings again? It's not just about money. It's about confidence, trust, control. When your cash flow is unstable, it doesn't just hurt your finances, it shakes your sense of safety. You start operating from fear instead of vision. You stop planning for growth and start reacting to emergencies. You stop dreaming and start surviving. That's when creativity dries up. That's when leadership gets replaced by firefighting. The tipping point. There comes a day when every entrepreneur hits a wall. The numbers no longer make sense. The stress no longer feels worth it. That's when something inside you says, enough. That's when you stop chasing surface wins and start fixing the foundation. The truth is, most business owners are only a few decisions away from clarity. They just need to see the full picture, where the money is coming from, where it's going, and what's silently stealing it along the way. The shift from chaos to clarity. The shift begins with visibility. You can't control what you can't see. Once you track your inflows and outflows clearly, not through random spreadsheets, but through a real rhythm, everything changes. You start seeing the story behind your numbers. You notice patterns, when cash tightens, when sales spike, when delays occur, and instead of reacting, you begin to anticipate. You move from chaos to control. Rebuilding the flow. Cash flow health isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's not about selling more, it's about managing what you already earn with purpose. Healthy cash flow means having a cushion for slow months, a rhythm for receivables, and a plan for every dollar before it leaves your account. That kind of clarity creates freedom. The freedom to hire with confidence. The freedom to invest in marketing without guilt. The freedom to say no to projects that drain your energy. It's not just business management. It's emotional management. When the numbers start speaking. Numbers don't lie, but they do whisper. You just need to know how to listen. Once you start reading your cash flow story, every financial decision becomes clearer. You begin to see where your business leaks energy and where it thrives. You stop guessing. You start knowing. And that's when the game changes, because knowledge builds confidence. The quiet transformation. Imagine this. Instead of waking up anxious about bills, you wake up knowing your numbers. You can project your next 90 days of cash flow. You know exactly how much runway you have. That's power. That's the kind of control that lets you breathe again, plan again, and lead again. And it doesn't require complicated formulas or an accounting degree, just the right system that brings your financial reality into focus. A gentle invitation. If you're tired of guessing where your money goes, if you want to finally feel in control of your numbers instead of afraid of them, there's a simple starting point. It's a little tool called Cashflow Mojo. You'll find it linked in the description and comments section below. It's not software that overwhelms you. It's a mirror that shows you your business's true rhythm. Because when you see the truth, you can fix it. And when you fix it, you regain peace. Try it, quietly, privately. You might be surprised at what you discover. The ripple effect. Here's what happens once your cash flow starts flowing again. You stop holding your breath at month's end. Your team feels more secure. Your confidence returns. And suddenly, new ideas start to surface again. You start thinking long-term. You start acting like a strategist, not a survivor. Because once your business stops leaking cash, it stops leaking energy too. The hidden freedom. At the core, cash flow mastery isn't about money, it's about freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom to plan, freedom to grow. But it's also something deeper. Freedom to think clearly again. When your cash flow is healthy, your mind finally quiets down. You stop making survival decisions and start making strategic ones. You can breathe. You can look ahead without that familiar knot in your stomach. You start leading your business from a place of calm authority instead of constant anxiety. That changes everything. The way you talk to your team, the way you negotiate deals, even the way you sleep at night. A healthy flow doesn't just stabilize your business, it restores your confidence. It gives you space to dream again. Not wild, unrealistic dreams, but focused ones that build momentum. Because real freedom isn't just having money in the bank. It's having the clarity and confidence to decide what happens next. When your flow is healthy, you make decisions from strength, not scarcity. You lead with intention, not impulse. And that's what separates those who endure from those who burn out. Not luck, not talent, but flow. Because when your cash moves with purpose, your vision follows. And once you taste that level of freedom, you'll never want to go back. Closing reflection. Your business doesn't have to be a guessing game. You don't need to hope for better months. You can design them. Cash flow is not just a financial system, it's a leadership tool. It's what turns chaos into clarity and survival into sustainability. So before you chase more growth, chase more clarity. And if you'd like to understand the rhythm of your cash, the truth that lives behind your numbers, check out the link in the description or the comment section below. Because when your cash flows with intention, your business flows with power.